Good evening and welcome to the Trading the Tech Show. Today is Monday, October 26th, 2020. And we had a very interesting day in the market today, especially for the Dow Jones was off quite a bit today. We traded down to about 27,625. So I think we were off just about 650 points on the day. So not a good day on the street. So stock futures basically now though are showing a little bit of an uptick for tomorrow, only about 44 points though. So it's not, I don't see where that's showing us a lot of optimism for traders in the after hours. It doesn't look like there's a lot of optimism there, but we'll see what happens. Typically, when we get a big down day in the market, we do tend to get a nice rebound the next day. We haven't been really getting back to back, you know, hardcore down days in a long time. Like that just really hasn't happened because we've been in such a bull market. So typically, a day like today is followed up with a gain. Right now, it's a little bit early for the futures. We'll probably look at that maybe again early in the morning for our daily market overview show. But right now, at least the futures are showing some optimism I'm looking at it right now, about 48 points positive at this point in time. So I think our market has been due for correction anyway. So it's not really unexpected that we're going to have some days like that where the market just trades off exponentially. We actually dropped quite a bit, even lower than where we were today. So I think when I checked at one point, we're down at least 770 points on the Dow, but it kind of rebounded a little bit. So that tells me that maybe, we kind of found our floor. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's gonna weigh a lot on what we're doing here. What I did notice was that really across the Forex market, though, I think we were just a little bit quiet today. I guess that's the way I can explain it. Just felt like we were quiet. We got some movement. We definitely had some trades that were triggered in, and definitely hit on pretty much all of the automated traders were taking orders still, not as many as we might like, but we did still find opportunities there, and we did still find profitable trades. I do post those trades, not every one, of course, because I have lots and lots and lots of clients, but I do tend to post the trades on my Instagram when they come in. So I like to do that because they're live trades, and that's one thing you don't see a lot of on Instagram. You see a lot of people advertising, saying what they're making, or they've got a lot of like information, but you don't see pages full of trades. And so that's the difference that, I like to bring with my Instagram page, because people want to see actual orders. You can see actual buys and sells, and then you can see what the trade actually did at that point in time. And then I tell them which auto trader actually is responsible for triggering that particular order. So of course we can't do all of them. Of course, I will definitely, show them definitely when they're profitable, right? So we show them the profitable trades as they come profitable, and as, things start to take off. It's great advertising for the auto traders. So we're going to go through our charts tonight, just kind of see where we are now as in comparison to last night. This is really kind of like, end of our first 24 to 30 hours or so in the market, the opening for this week. So we're going to take a look and see where we end up here. All right, so right now we are on this Aussie CAD trade on this 30-minute chart. We can see that we still have this full trend to the upside, because all of our moving averages from the 200 to the 8 are all in order to the upside. Our rate is kind of trading off to the side here. So this is what I kind of meant by us being just a little bit quiet today. We had a big push up here. We did get a nice push away and above the 720, but ever since then, we've kind of been sitting on the 720 Looks like it's holding as a support right now. It's definitely kind of held for us so far in the last, several hours or so. But we're just kind of trading off to the right here right now. So that doesn't give me a lot of, confidence, even though we have this trend set up here. Three of the moving averages, our 50, our 100, and our 200 are still below our 720. So we're going to just kind of, wait for this to develop more to figure out what we've really got here. If I'm placing any type of order on the Aussie CAD, if I really just had to place one, I drop a sell order here on this 100 or on this 200. That would be my sell orders. It's a little bit conservative because we definitely want the rate to get down here well below the 720 before we actually get placed into the order. We wanted to kind of commit to that movement before we get placed in the order. Now my stochastic is here above the 80. So that would give me just a little bit of pause at this point in time to really be interested in a short trade just now. Because we're here, actually, where's our end at here? Let's see, probably above 90 at this point on the stochastic. So with that being said, there's some momentum to the upside. So we'll just kind of let this set up and see what it does. But if I just was going to be prepared for a trade or a trade, where the market moves back below the 720, then my order would be on this 100 or this 200. There's no reason why you can't place it there because the market has to commit to a movement down before you actually get placed in the order. As far as the Aussie yen, our 720 is starting to peak out here. So we're trading well below that 720. We're still just trading off to the right here. We've got a little bit of higher lows kind of going on. We kind of had that going on a little bit. Let's see if we can throw a line on it so you can see what I'm showing you. Kind of this action is what I see. We get a little bit of higher lows going on, but then across the top, we're getting, pretty much this. If you look at most of the action is happening below that line around that 74, 76 area. We got some pop outs above that, but right now we see a lot of resistance kind of in that area. Most of the trading is happening below that. So that doesn't give me a great feeling of movement past that area or movement past our 720 up here. So we'll have to watch. This is kind of consolidating a little bit. And if we're looking at probability wise, then we're looking at probably a move to the downside since we're underneath our 720. But I don't have an order really here just yet. If I have anything, I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. If I have anything, it's gonna be on this 200 for short, because right now we're sitting right on top of the 100. So I'd short on this 200 if I did anything at this moment in time. Aussie New Zealand, pretty much same thing. You can see our 720 kind of, just lonely up here at the top. Then we're our rate is below that 720. It's also below our 200 here. Where the rate is kind of between the 100 and the 50 here. So we're kind of here just in the center right now. I don't really have a trade opportunity here just yet that's going to be conservative enough for me at this point in time. Maybe while the trade was up here, closer to the 200, I dropped my order maybe here on the 50, and then I would have been placed into that order most likely on one of these couple of candles here. My idea here is that we typically don't place the orders so close to the market. We want to give it some pips, maybe about 10 pips or so, just so that it's far enough away where there is some commitment to the move in our direction. But right now, this could just get caught up just for the simple fluctuation in the market here. And that's not really what we want. So we'll kind of hold out on this one here. So we don't have anything right now on the Aussie New Zealand. On the Aussie US, we see that our 720 is here just kind of floating through the middle. Our rate has just about, just over the 720 right now. The moving averages are all below the 720. So this is just out of sorts right now. We're not going to trade this at this moment in time. I don't think it would be advantageous for us. as this consolidation is occurring to trade here. So we're going to leave the Aussie US, let that kind of develop into something before we try to create something out of it. Now, as far as the CAD yen, we can see that we have a nice mature trend here. We have our 720 coming across the top. We've got all of our moving averages in order to the downside, and we're waiting for pullbacks past our 50 and past our 100. And as we're, as we pull back, like kind of here in this situation, we pull back past the 100, we can drop our order on the 50, and that would have been profitable for us. But we kind of wanted to get just a little bit wider. We want this really to kind of widen out for us before, because we don't want to place the order just too close. So it depends on your trading, how comfortable you feel, how close you want your order to be to that next moving average. How far above, say, the 100 do you want this to be before you place your order on the 50, or maybe even here on this 21? You can use the 21 too. It's not against the rules to do that. We just need it to be the next moving average down. We typically don't count the 8 for that. We could really bring the 8 take the 8 off the chart. I just used the 8 for some of the things in the auto traders require me to have the 8 there. So some of the algorithms. So that's the reason why the 8 is even on there. Typically, I wouldn't even run it. As far as the Swiss yen, we are sitting right here on the 720 as well. So this is, pretty much proving my theory today of the market being very, very kind of just slowish today. We don't really have so much direction going on today in the market. We've moved around, but we're not creating direction like we normally kind of see on a Monday night. We kind of start to see that developing. That's not what I'm really seeing here so far. I think the market's just a little bit confused because the Dow Jones was off so much, but I don't think they're ready to sell off the currency pairs just yet because, there's more expected dollar weakness. And we have the election right around the corner. That's next week. And, so 7 days from now, we got election. And on top of that, we still have stimulus talks going on. So, maybe there's some consolidation with that. And we've got a bunch of news coming out this week. We talked about the news reports on our daily market overview show this morning as well. So we've got a lot of that kind of happening too. As far as the Euro Aussie, we've got rate above our 720 here. Right now, our moving averages are in order to the downside, but they're above our 720. So if I'm placing orders here, this is okay for me, but if I'm placing orders here, my order entry points are probably going to be this 100 or this 200. So if we get a commitment to the upside, the market's going to have to go that direction to pick us up and put us in the order. So, that's, we're trying to avoid just kind of dumping in a trade here. We could probably put one here on this 50, but it's going to be really close to the offer at this point in time. So we may want to just kind of be careful with how we order there, how we place our order. But there's the opportunity to place it here on the 100 or the 200, and then just be patient and see what occurs. On the Euro CAD, we can see that we're trading above the 720. We have a mature trend to the upside. All of our moving averages are in order to the upside. They are open and wide, except for the 8 jumping here, falling on our 21 right now, just because we're getting that pullback. So we're going to wait and see how deep this pullback goes. We had a little bit of a pullback here to the 100. And so our opportunity would have been to place the order on the 50 or on this 21. And that would have been a profitable trade for us. So we're just waiting on that scenario again. We're waiting for it to pull back past these moving averages, and then we can, buy into that trend. On the Euro Swiss, we see that we have our 720 up here up top. All of the moving averages, everything, the rate, everything is below our 720. So we are biased to the downside. So our idea here is sell opportunities. And so as we look here, we can see that the moving averages are just all out of whack right now. I don't have like a whole lot of opportunity here right now, just because the rate is so close to our 50 and our 100 here. But while it was up here above, maybe, above the 200, then our 50 and our 100 here in yellow and blue would be our entry points south. So we'd be looking for shorts. Looking at our stochastic too, it's below our 50 point here. It's sitting at 35.45 or so. And then being below the 720, that kind of leads us to, we're leaning maybe towards a move downward, more so than a move upward. So the probability of a move down is greater than the probability of a move up. Now, as far as the euro pound, we've got this 720 kind of hanging out, going right through the middle. And we've got it just been consolidating here. So this is kind of what I see at this point in time. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. And that's farther away than what I want. So I'm gonna grab this here. Grab that. And then we're gonna pull that down. There we go. All right, great. So you can see like kind of this triangle kind of forming here. We did pop out just a little bit on the top and the bottom, but not very much. And then, we kind of just stayed right along this triangle here. Now we're up against the resistance for it, but then we're coming into the point of the triangle. Typically, when we get to that point, we pop out pretty strongly. So traders will be watching a move like this and going, we're going to pop out of this one way or the other. My whole question is, we're sitting on here on this 720, really, really tough. So I don't want to guesstimate what's going to happen there. I want to stay away from that. So a lot of trading is filtering out your trades and just finding the opportunities that are, within the flow of what, they're so in the flow and so easy that, you're not forcing a trade. Because here, this could turn out to be anything. You don't want to be dealing with that. The moving averages are all really close together. There's no separation or anything going on. There's no clear trend happening or whatever. This can pop out of here either way. And it will depend probably on the fundamentals. Our stochastic even sitting right here around the 50, right? Let's see what that says. 44.11, right? Too close to the middle for me to make a decision about what's going to happen. It's just sitting in the middle right now. We'll let it pop out, set up some direction, and then we're interested in taking the trade. As far as the euro yen, looks like we are trying to set up here a mature trend. We actually have one, but it's a baby right now. There's no real separation between the moving averages. So just like the theme of the day today is just, we're a little bit lackluster. I guess that's a good word for today's trading. Right? It's lackluster. It's got some things going on, but it's definitely lackluster. It's not giving enough push in one direction or another to make us happy about making a decision about what we're going to do here. I find it really interesting too. I just thought that, when I saw the Dow down so much, that we're going to get a lot bigger push, but we really just didn't. So that's kind of telling me that traders are, in the Forex market, at least, I think they want to be buyers. I don't think they want to be sellers, because most of the pairs were correlating to the Dow, all of the cross pairs, all of the, pairs that were not based in the dollar. If it wasn't dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, or dollar yen, then, we were pretty much correlating to the market, to the Dow. And today it just decided not to participate. So that's what gives me the idea that traders' sentiment is like, we're going to shrug off what the Dow is doing because we understand why it's doing what it's doing. And we're going to continue our pace with the currencies. We're going to continue in a different direction. We'll hold here and see what happens with the Dow. Now, if it continues to fall, then there might be a different direction. But I think traders kind of sat on their hands a little bit today because, I don't think they freaked out about it. I think they just realized, hey, we need to just be patient and sit down right now. Let's sit on our hands, not do much of anything. So looking at the euro yen, even though it's got a mature trend to the downside, I want to see this open up a little bit before I do anything. But it definitely will be on my docket because there is trend to the downside and it's blooming at this point. Euro New Zealand, we see that all of our moving averages are below the 720. We have basically a mature trend. The only thing we have really here that's outside of that is the 8 is jumping on top of the 21 right now, but it's kind of flat. So that doesn't give me, cause for an idea that it's going to go to the go up. I think that it should continue to go down. So we have a sell bias, especially since rate is below the 720. All the moving averages are in order to the bottom. And then we've got our stochastic down here well under 20. So we're consolidating a little bit here. We've kind of consolidated, but I think we get a move down. It's kind of been just gradually moving down. This is a nice move, but then it kind of slid over to the side, pulled back, and then gave us another nice move down, right? We did have a catapult opportunity here as well. So this hasn't been the entry point hasn't been met yet. I mean, you could probably actually still even set that up. So here's our straddle candle. We've got our 50 going through the middle of our candle here. The second candle was a red candle as well, a bear candle. Our close was 176.71. So our entry would be 176.61, right? So let's see if I can get somewhere close to that here. Yeah, 59 was close, but we'll type in 61. This is where our entry would be. So you can see, since we kind of got this catapult, it is in direction of the actual trend itself. And we did not enter. We would not have entered yet because our rate has not come down and touched this point yet. So that's why this trade is good. It's a pending order that's out in front, makes the market really kind of commit to us, our movement, before we get involved in the trade. Now we had another one here. We did have a catapult here. We had a straddle candle. It kind of went through the top of that candle, still counts. The second candle was red as well. So looking at the close was 176.83. So we would have gotten in at 176.73, kind of like where the market is right now. And we had some pips because we fell down well below 176.40s, in the 176.40s area. Below that, we fell into the 176.30s. So, the low 30s. So there's about 40 pips in that particular catapult for us already that we could have gained. So here's another one. So our entry here at the 176.61 is a possibility as well. We're not too far away from there, like 11, 12 pips away from that right now. So Euro US, we see that we are above our 720. Right now we're pushing back towards the 100 moving average as well. So then with our buy bias, we would have, when this order, when the rate was down here below our 8, kind of between our 720 and our 200, our entry points would have been either our 21, our 50, our 200, or a 100. So we would have been put into any one of those trades now, and hopefully that the momentum will continue to the upside. That's kind of the pension that we see. That's the most probable thing that should happen, is that we should get trend to the upside. Our stochastic here is above the 50 mark. It's at 63.59 right now. So that's good too. So, all of that leans towards a move up, not a move down. We look at our pound Aussie here. We're above the 720. We came right down, and now our 720 looks like it's kind of setting up a little floor for us, or support. Our moving averages, the other moving averages, are in order to the downside. We did take trend to the downside, but we're still all above the 720, which leads me to a bias of buying. So this is just improving my rate. That's how I look at that. I look at that as an improvement to the rate at this point in time. So my entry orders now would be either here on this 50, on this 100, or on this 200. Those would be my entry orders for the pound Aussie. So that's definitely one that you can mark down, or if you want to, contemplate taking that trade, I would take that one. Pound CAD, we're trading above our 720 again, right? So we're trading above the 720. We've been bouncing off of that. That's shown us some support here. We did get a pullback here beyond our 200. So the only real options for us were to place our order on our 50 or 100 here, or maybe our 21 to buy. So we're going to wait and see if this actually opens up a little bit for us. Right now, this, because of the market condition today, we're just a little bit slow. It's just, not really creating any real new highs, not really creating any real new lows. It's just kind of meandering to the right. So we talked about this, multiple times. We talk about the market, what it does. It trades up, down, and to the right, sideways, right? only those things. Pound Swiss, another sideways market, not a whole lot to see here. We can see that we're trading underneath our 720 here, but with this consolidation that's happening, all the moving averages kind of just, just paralleling the 720 right now in a close fashion. There's going to be better opportunities in that. I want to see that develop before we do anything else. Pound yen on this 30-minute chart, we see that we are trading right below our 720. The 100 right now just coming down, touching the 720 like it wants to cross over. 200 is not far behind. So once they kind of jump over, then we'll take this full trend that we have now and we'll turn it into a mature trend. But we'd be waiting on any pullbacks right now past the 50. If it goes past the 100 right now, it's above the 720. So I'm not really so sure that I want to place an order there. At most, I'd place an order on my 50 or maybe my 21. But we've got to pull back some, but we're really close to that 720. If I just needed an order to place, I guess that's what I would do. As far as the pound US on this 30-minute chart, we have right above our 720. Right now, we are hitting the point where our opportunity was. We just passed our 50. So, we were down here below the 8, down here between the 8 and the 720. So that was our opportunity to place our order either on this 50 or on the 200 and the 100.